Sub guy, I don't know if you guys know him, but anyway, he came and was like, listen, we got this record, really believe in it. I just feel like it's missing something, you know, we mixed it, it's mastered, it's been out, so they came back around, we remixed it, and I think it sold like 15 million or something now, some obscene like that, you know, and it just, to me, that was a big example for me to, you know, with the sound quality, you know, but because, you know, it was out, it didn't hit right, you couldn't hear what the hook was saying, you know, stuff like that, and to kind of get off subject, but still the same thing. Now it's the loudness war. You know, it's like we're in the studio. And I know Rock can understand this, man, because back at, you know, we like dynamics in music, you know, ups and downs, things like that. But nowadays it's like, just a couple weeks ago, that record that Grinding with Wayne and Drake. I don't know if you guys heard it. We mixed it, we mastered it, we put it out, and then like Drake calls, crying, yelling, yo, the demo mix was so much louder. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, well, it was compressed all shit, like it's, you know, but is it better because it's louder? To him it is, you know, so it's all a matter of opinion, you know. I think a hit record, I don't want to sound cliche, a hit record's a hit record, but a hit record that sounds great is a fucking monster record, you know, that's not.
I think overall, a song is, even a mix is based on perspective. I think every beat, every song has its own, like its own sound. You know, you listen to somebody like Gaultier and it's supposed to sound a lot thinner than, you know, Lil Wayne or something like that. And then even records, like I did Maybach Curtains on Meek's album, which is all live. So you can't mix records like that the same way that you would mix Grinding or Crazy or anything like, you know, like a really aggressive in your face. It just depends on the song. It's all perspective on the artist and the emotion they're trying to convey. Sometimes when you have the right song, the right mix, the right time, the stars align, and it goes, you know. Sometimes mixes are supposed to sound shitty, and that's the vibe, you know, because it creates like, oh, it's authentic. That shit sounds like all indie and shitty, but you probably didn't mean to do it. But people love it, so it is what it is.
How many of y'all are actually in the studio when a lot of these guys are mixing your record specifically?
I'm in the studio 99% of the time for the mix. And if I'm not in the studio, I say, send it to Fabian ASAP. That's what I said.
The funny thing is, me and him were sitting up here earlier, this is hilarious, because I mixed a record for a while with Redman. I mixed a record for everybody on this stage at one point, and I'm meeting a couple of them for the first time today. How about that? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So it's like, but it's a real, you know, I'm not saying we didn't send an MP3 back and forth and make notes and stuff like that, but yeah, man, I don't know how to, that made no sense. I just had to say that.
And he actually, it's all kept. And there's also a last thing too, Faith actually just came through, I guess, Infamous and said he's gonna come through with John. I'm not sure exactly who invited him, but he just came through and we found out he was gonna be on the panel today, so I don't know for him to just want to be here and show love to you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I mix a lot of my records as well. I'm a certified engineer, so I've been mixing for a while. I just actually mixed Cormega Large Pro's album, the whole thing, and you know, all the Nori records I mix myself. I've actually mixed joints for Jalil, for Renegades. They might not even know I was the one who did it, but I do that as well, and it's super important, a good mix to bring out the quality of a song the right way, because you could have like a dope produced song, and the vocals would just be like, you know, real undercompressed or not EQ'd right, and it just doesn't do any justice to the actual song. So I think mixing is very key to bringing the song to life and, you know, giving it the life that it deserves. A lot of songs that might be hit records, they don't really last that long just because the mix wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? They might just be like, it's all right, and then you don't hear it in the clubs, you don't hear it nowhere, just because of the fact it doesn't have a good mix on it. So I think it's super important to go to somebody that knows how to mix a record and put that money into it. You know what I mean? It's very key.
Yeah, I think also too, just so you guys understand it from an artist's perspective too, you know, whenever we do the showcase, you know, somebody might critique them on their mix or something, and the producer always says, well, no, I didn't really have time to do that, and I really wanted to put the snare high, and I wanted to do that, but the problem with that is why would you ever put your music out for people to hear if it wasn't the way you really intended them to hear it? You know what I'm saying? That comes for everybody, even the artist perspective, because you spend money on the graphics, right? You spend money on the studio time, right? You spend money on pressing up the CDs or putting these things together. Whatever the case may be, why would you ever cut quality of the record as the corner you're trying to cut? You feel me? So just understand that from all perspectives. Being an artist, you have to know that you got to put your best stuff out at all times, because you are competing with people who spend $500,000 on budgets. You know what I'm saying? For mixing and making this stuff sound perfect before it hits the public. So you got to make sure your stuff is competitive. Go ahead.
Quick question, Fabian. Did you do 50 plates? Did you do 50 plates? Rick Gang album. Can I get the stamps, please? Because man, that was my first placement on Ross, and like I was so upset. I had the studio copy, and I hated it. Like not in the sense of what Ross did. I just hated that my 808 had no knob. It was just like, damn, when I played it in the car. And I never heard the final mix until it came out of the album. You did some justice to that thing. I need that 808 back, please. Like, ASAP, guy. I need that.
Sometimes I just wanted to say, I don't mean like go about the whole thing, but I've been in the studio with A&Rs, with artists, like and a producer sent a song and the shit is so whack, like the bass is a different note than different key than what, but that shit hit so hard, they loved it. So yeah, to take back what I said earlier, yeah, the sound is very important. Because I've been in there like, yo, that shit knocks, but I'm like, yo, it's fucking horrible. Like, it doesn't make any sense what's going on, but it hit so hard, now it made an album, we figured out the rest of it out later, so.
Go ahead, Rob.
I would just like to give a big shout to my boy David Pensado that mixed all
big time.
Because I don't know how to mix to save my life. I never knew. He took one kick. I used one kick and snare for my whole career. One kick and snare, never changed it up. And he turned that kick into a kick that sounded good for one record, sounded good for the next record, sounded good for this record. And he used this thing. I ain't never gonna tell his secret, but there's one thing that he does, and it's the craziest shit that makes that kick do different things. And he told me to never tell what it was, but it's a secret that he does. But big shout to him, because I couldn't mix a record to save my life. I still don't know how to mix a record. I wish I knew how to mix. If y'all want to give me a tutorial or anybody want to help me, please, because I'm really trying to make sure I pay him correctly and all of this craziness that y'all doing now. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. Because that 808 sounds amazing that you guys do, man. How that 808 and that kick is separate from each other is fucking amazing. If whoever want to teach me how to do it, please teach me, because I need to know.
I want to talk about originality a little more too, in terms of how important it is for producers to kind of create their own sound. I think one of the main problems today is that a lot of producers might look at Jalil or Reezy and say like, I think those guys are what's hot right now. They have radio records out